Hey everybody, I was making sure to send the Zoom link to all of the groups. There's a lot. If somebody is asking or I forgot to send a particular group, do me a solid and forward that graphic on. Wow, this has already been a crazy day, week, month. It's like September over here. The 97th day of September. Okay. Usually what I do for these, already we have chat going on. Oh, hey. Normally what I do for these is I have message examples to send for you. But because everyone's situation right now looks a little different, you may have already ranked up. You might be helping other people rank up. You might be on the cusp of a huge rank up. So those messages can look different, right? What I'm going to do this time around is I'm going to allow you guys to kind of guide this power hour with me and drop in the chat questions. We're gonna answer objections. We're gonna come up with ideas of how we can finish this month out strong. We're gonna talk about samples, whatever you guys want to talk about. But one thing I will say before we get started in that is if you haven't watched Q News, the last one, you need to go watch it. What I have learned in the past 6 months of my business is no matter if something benefits me or not, if it benefits somebody else on my team or within our company or within anybody we come across, you help them out. It doesn't matter if you're going for rank. It doesn't matter if you are having to sacrifice your own gain in order for someone else to win. You do it. Because the way Jake put it is you have to think long term. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for future gain because you're helping as many people as possible along the way. And I came to a stopping point a few hours ago and I was like, okay, I don't really know what to do. I feel like I've done all the things. And I realized I need to go ask people, every single person on my team, where are you at? What can we do? What can I do for you? And so it's not about me finding a rock star ambassador in the 11th hour and, closing all the follow-ups. In some cases it is, but it's more about what we can do for you, how we can be that third-party validation for you and your team. And you might have people on your team that are just like, no, I'm good. and that's okay. That's okay. We cannot beat a dead horse, right? We're going to love on others the way that we can. You might be setting yourself up for rank ups in October and November. That might be your task today. Your task might be to go strategize with a teammate on how they can utilize those 500 packs to make sure they get a return on their investment. You might be helping somebody get, one sleep spray so that they can get that rank up. You might be helping somebody to, basically talking them off the ledge. How many times have you done that for a team member where it's been like, ooh, it's going to be okay. You're doing good, and really like loving on them where they're at. no matter what that looks like. You might have to go build influence. That might take a few months. So just remember that the work that you do today will come to fruition within 90 days. A new business strategy takes 90 days to really start rolling and to take effect. If you start helping your teammates in 30 days, you're like, what's going on? I'm putting all this time into my teammates and nothing. You need to give it 90 days. Okay? So that really resonated with me. And it's been kind of the motto of it's been longer than a 90-day run at this point. I decided I was going to do a 90-day run in February. And then at the end of that 90-day run, when I pushed through some really difficult things, I was like, oh, I'm doing another one. And then at the end of that one, I was like, oh, okay, we're about to rank up to a 6-figure team. So I think it works. And what it does is you are pouring into the people that need your help. And it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about the person that you can help get a paycheck. That's what it's all about. And when he was talking about, let's say you have a power leg, let's say you have a runaway leg, it's just like boom, and you're not getting any like extra income because of that power leg, you still pour into them. You still love them. You know their names. You know where they're at. You send them pictures of their dashboard and saying, hey, you're almost there. You're doing amazing. What do you need? Because Jake says you will need that volume eventually. But it's not really about that, is it? It's about blessing other people. And I tend to think those things come around. My husband's in the Navy, and he got some really, really good advice one time from a chief who had ranked up really, really fast within their system. And Tony asked, my husband Tony, he asked him, like, what do you do to get to your position so quickly? And he said, you help as many people as possible. When someone asks you for help, you help them. And I think that translates across not only our business, but all the way across our life. Yeah. So let's open it up. I want to hear what you guys are, what you're doing right now. Do you need answers to messages? Are you needing some third-party validation? What do we need to talk about? I want to open it up to y'all. Because I have like, and I'm sorry, y'all are going to hear the notifications. I can't stop them. Sorry. I'm not looking at them though, don't worry. I do have message examples I can pull up for you because I keep saving them, but okay, so Angie says you reached out to people and they haven't committed to actually purchasing. How do you get them to take the leap and just purchase without being pushy? Marielle had a really good example of this yesterday. She said something to the effect of just sending people messages and being like, hey, I know we talked a few days ago, or I know we talked last week and you were going to wait a little bit, but we have some amazing promos and there's something that's happening that's really special on my team right now that I would like to take part in. And if you purchased your order, I would be able to take part in that. And there's no pressure either way. But if it was possible for you, would you be open to placing that order today? It's just a simple yes or no, you know? And if they say no, then you'd be like, no problem. Let's touch base when we said on October 10th or whenever you set your next appointment. And be like, can you believe how amazing this weather is? And just change the subject and move on. Really invest into that conversation though after the fact, so they don't feel like you're being salesy and only look at them as a dollar sign. Learn the names of their kids too, or the names of their dogs. People like that. You're welcome. What else? A lot of folks want to try before becoming a preferred customer. What do you say to them? Like, try the product? Okay. A lot of folks want to try the product before becoming a preferred customer. What do you say to them? Um, if I want a really fast turnaround, I will overnight them a sample pack of some kind. In fact, I have one right here that I can show you guys what I'm doing. Now, this is for somebody who is a big person. Like, they're not just like a product taker. They're somebody who would be huge for the business. So I'm putting together, and it doesn't even have to be fancy, y'all. I'm going to look at my hair. That's crazy. It looks insane on the video. End of month. So I have 3 sleep sprays in here. I have some sport. I happen to have like a 7-day sample of the Fuse. I was going to buy a credit and then send them a sample from corporate, but I just happened to have that little thing. I like to do both usually. I like to send them a sample from corporate because they get the little flyer. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, check your mail because I'm going to have some goodies for you. I'm going to put my business card in there. I'm going to send them some full bottles of extra product that I had, especially because QMax is switching over to QMax Premium. I have a little bit of extra QMax. You can bless people with that. I'm going to write her a hand card and just, wait. Sometimes that turnover is not going to happen immediately, but what you can tell them is you can say, look, we have some testimony pages that you can read about whatever your particular health issues are. And some people will say, well, like, I don't feel comfortable sharing the product because I need to know that the products work. And I say, well, just because you don't have diabetes doesn't mean that you wouldn't tell someone who has diabetes about the products or the business, correct? Like, you wouldn't wait until you have fibromyalgia to talk to somebody just because not everybody has fibromyalgia. I'm like, you don't need your own product testimony in order to share the business. So that's kind of what I say in that situation. I'm like, we have documented health results, both in the clinical studies, but also from people who have tried this before. And you can point that out to them. But I don't think there's anything wrong with them trying the product beforehand, before becoming a preferred customer. They may just be really nervous. And when they see your generosity by being like, hey, no problem, they're going to be like, wow, not only was she generous, but she's not desperate for me. She's not like trying to have commission breath hounding me down. And I think that is not even a phrase. I make up words all the time. It's cool. Was that helpful? Hope that was helpful. If you need ambassadors but have people who aren't interested in the business but really need ambassadors, is it wise to add them as an ambassador anyway, or just hold out for someone who will actually work the business? That is a great question. I have done this before where I have added ambassadors because they're kind of ready, but not really. They might check 3 boxes, but not all 7. I'm going to read them off to you, what I use to vet and qualify people who can come into my business, because I tell people all the time, listen, I'm interviewing you as much as you're interviewing me. And there are some things that we do as ambassadors. Do you feel ready to be a true business owner and treat this like a true business instead of just a hobby? Can you invest from $200 to $250 in your initial order, right? Because $39.95 plus the products. Are you able to identify 5 to 7 hours a week to work the business? Because we want them to get their executive fast start bonuses. We don't want to leave money on the table. So if they're not ready to start right then and there, you might not want to sign them as ambassadors, because that money would be left on the table if they didn't want to go after the bonus, and then they don't get a chance again. This month, where September they offered the Mindset Reset promotion, we had never seen that before. That was like so generous for them to open that back up because of the struggles that all of us have had because of the pandemic, and so many people have had. So they may not get that chance again to earn those bonuses. So we don't want to leave money on the table, and it's actually a favor to them. And Brianna, it's better to sign them as a PC You know, you could sign your mom or something as an ambassador and help her build her 2 legs, and then drop people down as preferred customers underneath her, and it would bless people along the way. But I think it's wise to hold out, because you will get paid no matter what. If you add them as a customer, you're going to get paid customer commissions. And I've had so many situations where I waited and I said, okay, why don't you be a PC first? And then a month in, I was like, hey, are you loving your products? Yeah, I really am. This is amazing. I'm like, people really need to know about this. Do you agree? And I let them answer that question. Most of the time, they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, don't you think people in your network that you know, but I don't know, might want to know about this? Yeah. And I'm like, well, cool. We have systems where all you have to do is connect them to me and I can tell them about it. So you don't have to be the expert. Would that be beneficial to you? And a lot of times they'll say, yeah. I'm like, cool. That's what we do. That's what our business is all about. So if you want to be an ambassador, it'd be simple to upgrade you. It's $39.95 and your order carries with you. Oh, okay. Do you want to upgrade? Sure. And that's kind of how that conversation can happen. And you've invested in them. You've loved them where they're at without pushing them into a business, even though you need those ambassadors to rank up for your residual income. I think it's better to hold out. The rest of these boxes are, can you commit to 100 PV every single month? Because you need to be a product of the product. And if they commit to 100 PV every month, then they get paid. But if they don't turn their auto ship on, they may not get paid. Because if you don't have 100 PV, you don't get paid, even customer commissions. Can you go through the Q launch orientation in 24 to 48 hours? We want people to watch that launch video and fill out their launch document the very next day. And that's their only homework. All they have to do is fill out the launch document and watch the video. And then you set up a goal setting call within 48 hours. They're not willing to do those things, guys, they are not ready to run. You don't want to have to always be chasing them down, because you'll be chasing them down to send messages. You'll be chasing them down to run with you at end of month. And that's just not a good place to be in your business. You want your tribe. You want your squad, you know? You want to be like, you want them coming to you saying, how far away are you from your next goal? And I'm like, well, how far away are you from your next goal? And it's fun to run with people that way. And not everybody's going to be like that, and that's okay. We meet them where they're at. The next one is, are you able to have your first event within 7 days of your enrollment? On that goal setting call, I always make sure to set up a Zoom for them, and I invite their sponsor to invite their prospects too, so you can utilize leveraging, so that the sponsor can be like, yo, I have this girl that signed from the info Zoom, and you're like placing in that pod, and suddenly you're building together, and it's a really cool situation where you can build team culture. And then the last one is, are you committed to unlocking fast start bonuses in your first full calendar month? If they're not ready to go after that executive time clock fast start bonus stuff, don't sign them. You don't want them to leave that money on the table. So, that was a really long answer, Brie. I'm sorry. Do you send that in a message or like an application? I actually have a graphic. I don't send the graphic though. I kind of just naturally ask them those questions, like during the prospecting process in a 3-way chat or something. I'll be like, okay, so what we normally do is we get people trained within their first 24, 48 hours, and we end up having a Zoom, a private exclusive Zoom for you in your first 7 days. Are you willing to do that? Cool. Do you have your auto ship set up? Cool. Did you get your order placed? Awesome. Are you ready? You know, like those sorts of questions. So you're welcome. I really try to reinforce the next steps with my team too, so that those are duplicating down within the organization. Like all of us, guys, all of us should be doing that and making sure that everyone's following that. Like if people get really excited because a bunch are being added at once, and you suddenly see like the process unraveling a little bit because people aren't following it, you've got to insert yourself in there and be like, okay, who's launched? Okay, who's done goal setting? We got to get that on the calendar. Let's go, let's go. Bite-sized chunks like that. You might feel overwhelmed. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Your only job right now is this, and just kind of reinforcing the steps so that people are like feel empowered, like they can do it too. If they aren't ready to do that, how do you say it's not your time? What I say is, hey, that is no problem. It's going to be best for you to sign up as a preferred customer at this time. And then if you decide that you want to share and follow our system so that we can ensure that you have success, we can upgrade you at any time. Do you want to revisit it in 30 days? I always ask them a question at the end so that they will confirm, and they've just given me permission so that they know at the 30-day period, I'm going to be asking them. Same with follow-ups too. Whenever I send somebody a video, I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to talk to you in 15 minutes and ask what you think. And then that way they're expecting to hear from me after they watch a video or after they're on a Zoom. Yes, I'm recording this, Bree. So this one I will upload. Hopefully YouTube will let me. I do have music in the background, but maybe they won't shut me down. Angie says, you are going to do a sample day for the month of October. Awesome. 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 Yeah. For everybody who has gotten the 500 packs, guys, it is okay to split those bags of Twist up. You should, so you can get a return on your investment if somebody has a problem with the price. I haven't really had a lot of issues with people saying like the 75 for a pack is too much, but if you do, or they only want one flavor, sell 10 sticks at a time or sell 3 sticks at a time and do the math on what your return on investment would be for a $75 bag plus tax and shipping. Angie, how are you doing your sample day for trick-or-treating?
Hey guys. So when we were launching Twist, I did a post on Facebook and I had about 60 or so different messages about which one they chose. So as soon as I get that, they're all going to be one of those days where they're going to get their appetite suppression, hydration, or calming. So that's going to be part of that. On my live video yesterday about Armour, I have about 5 to 10 people that were interested in that. So they're going to get their Armour samples. And then if that doesn't kind of go through the whole month, I'll just do another post about another product that, like, I use a ton of Q Sport. That's another great one to sample. And I was actually going to talk about that in a live today. Like, for example, I'm a morning workout person. I get up in the morning, I put my workout clothes on, and that's the first thing that I try to do. But on Wednesdays now, with this call being at 8:30 in the morning my time, I have to work out in the afternoon, which is usually kind of that slump time. You know, you get tired. So I drink my Q Sport in the afternoon to give me that energy to be able to go work out. So I was actually going to talk about that today on my live. So depending on what I get for messages from that, then that would kind of evolve into other samples. So just kind of spread it out over the month.
I love that. I think it's really good to show up on social media after you make a post. What I mean by that is not only commenting on all the comments after a post, but going live and reinforcing what you're talking about. That might feel uncomfortable to some, but you get better at it as you practice and do it. It's no different than if you got up on a stage or a presentation and you said something and then you went and got in the crowd and started talking to people about it. It's no different than that. You have to pretend that social media is like if you were in person. And the more normal you act and show up on social media, on the platforms, the more that people are going to trust you. And so no matter what message you're sending, like having a sample day or doing a giveaway, or like for me, I'm considering doing a countdown to gold sometime today. It makes me a little nervous. But I think people get interested in that because they want to feel like you're in the crowd with them. And I love that, Angie. Let's see. How many days samples do you give out for the supplements like QMax and Align? So usually I do a week because Align tends to work quickly. And if they have a week's worth of Align, they'll be able to feel it. When I first joined, I was really nervous. I had just left my former company and I was nervous. I didn't even have my products yet. And one of my uplines sent me 2 weeks worth of Q-Core QMax. And that like sealed the deal for me. So I think a week's worth. Angie says, yeah, QMax, Align, and Trim, a week's worth. I think they'll start to feel better too. By day 3, our stuff works really fast. You don't have to wait, 90 days to see a difference with our products, which is amazing. Heather, do not apologize, girl. I am a questions person. This is the place for questions. I open this up for a reason because I know that lots of stuff has gone on and there's good, exciting changes coming, including the Q app, the Q Connect Pro app is changing tomorrow. All the stuff is improving, I should say. So it's okay to have questions. Ooh, 12 orders away from Elite, Heather. You're going to do it. That's happening. How do you approach people from other companies? I actually have a really good message example that is helpful for this. So I'm going to pull that one up. I'm not going to do that one on the fly. I've been using this message that I'm about to copy and paste in here. And I've been getting some good responses from this, not necessarily people saying, yes, tell me all about it, but this is more of an entryway into the future. People who are with other companies, they're scared. They're scared to leave. I was scared to leave. It took me a little bit. And so when you are respectfully approaching someone saying, hey, amazing stuff is happening over here. Were you looking for an opportunity or are you already aligned with another company? And that is respectfully saying, if you are already aligned, I am not trying to step on your toes. You do you, girl. I support you no matter what. And so this is the message. Hey there, and then you put their name. Wow, I realized today that we haven't said hi in a long time. I'd like to fix that and say hello. I hope and pray you're doing very well despite this crazy year. Not sure if you've seen what we've been up to or not, but I started a new ground floor project in the health and CBD space recently. It's going really well. So I'm being pretty bold with people who I think would value what we're doing. And if this isn't for you, it's no big deal, but I'm being super intentional, asking only entrepreneurs and leaders such as yourself, whether or not you might be looking for something right now, or if you're already aligned with a company. And that's basically saying, I recognize you as a rock star, but if you're cool with where you're at, no big deal, but we're winning over here. And so they'll be watching. And that's why, y'all, it is so, so important. Hear me on this. It is so important to celebrate rank ups. Sideline rank ups, upline rank ups, your rank ups, people in your downline. I don't care what leg they're on. You post them, you celebrate them, because first of all, that's good for our culture and it's really good for your team. And it's really good because you might need that upline or that sideline to help you one day when you don't have the answers and you need some support, right? But it's also really good because you might need that volume on the other leg someday. And if you're pouring into your team as an entirety, they're going to love you and trust you, and you've built that over time. And that's really, really good. Plus, that person doesn't know where they are in your organization. They can't see that. So celebrate everyone. Do you just send that as a message or a voice message? I would send it as a voice message so they can hear how genuine you are. And if you're really, really bold, you can send a V-share. Send a V-share from the app. If you don't know what a V-share is, there is training in the app for the V-share. It's basically the app helping you put links in videos. So you're basically saying, hey, and you do the message and be like, and if you are interested, you can click on this link right here and watch a 4-minute video that's a quick intro into what I'm doing. And then they just click on it. I want to tell you guys, it's normal to rebuild, by the way. At some point in your journey here with Q, you will rebuild. And that's very normal. I've had to rebuild areas of my business multiple times, actually. So is there a follow-up to this? If you can see they read the message but haven't responded. If they've read that message and they haven't responded, they're probably not interested at that moment. What you can do is you can support them on social media, comment on all their posts, use Instagram and Facebook to turn on notifications for when they do a story or a post. You'll get a notification, click on it. You can be like, yo, I love your kid's outfit. Awesome. You know, that kind of stuff. And do it consistently. Don't just do it for a day or two and then drop off the face of the planet, because then they'll think that they were only a dollar sign to you. Rebuilding.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
This is back to the app. I'm still unclear what the difference is going to be tomorrow. Do you know, or is it somewhere that I can go find?
Yes. So on Q News, Ethan posted a really simple video update yesterday where he said, okay, guys, this is the time, and here are the differences. Here's what's automatically going to be charged if you got charged for the Q Connect Pro app on, September 20th. You're going to have until October 20th to use the Q Connect Pro app for free until it upgrades to the big one. If they already charged you in October, then you can talk to Leadership Success to get the difference in price for the Pro version. If you don't want the Pro version, and he goes over the differences, so you'll have to watch it. I don't quite know it by memory just yet, but it was a really good video that was very clear, and it made me breathe a sigh of relief. Because when I first heard all this, I was like, I'm a little overwhelmed. That's normal, y'all. I hope this was helpful today. I know normally I have lots of messages for you guys to use. I wanted to hear from you and where you're at, so this is relevant to your business right now. If you want to drop in the chat how close you are from your next goal, or the number of people you're going to go help today, or if you're like, let's say you have 180 orders to go till your next rank up, like break it down how many executives you're going to help next month to get there. Let's backtrack into the math so that you feel empowered to go be an executive factory, because that's what this is about. If you have a dead leg, how many people are you going to recruit into your business for the next 90 days to go help those people that you haven't even met yet that are going to come into your business? What systems are you going to commit to making sure that you create that momentum for yourself? If you don't have placement from your sponsor, that is okay. You are absolutely 1,000% capable of building something into a 6-figure business. And I'm getting fired up right now, and I have chills all over my legs because I did it. I didn't go silver or gold in 3 or 4 months, y'all. And those who do are amazing, and they are in momentum, and they are following systems, and their teams are doing it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. But that may not be your story, and that's okay. When we hit gold before 2 a.m. Eastern time tonight, we will have done it in 14 months. 14 months. And that is still fast, but I had to rebuild, and that's okay. and I needed help, and I needed personal development, and I needed to work on myself and I needed to work on my selfishness. So just know that like, this is for you. You just might have to work on yourself a little bit and go work on your team and start adding value on social media into the people in your life so that they will know, love, and trust you. When we talk about setting up the very first Fab Five for someone, we say, go invite your dirt people, the people that know, love, and trust you the most. Well, if you've been in this business for a year and a half and you're like, oh, I kind of worked through those already, you have to go create that again. And the way you do that is you add value to others. I just signed up my neighbor across the street because I went and helped her in her yard pull weeds every single day. And I gave her a free bottle of Q-Max and 2 sprays. And I'm probably going to walk a hemp bottle over there later. And she did me a favor. And she's excited. And now she's a real estate agent and she's connecting people to me. That was worth it. Those 2 months of pulling weeds and my nails being really dirty was worth it, because I was adding value to her in some way. So just, it's okay, whatever time frame that is, think big picture. Set yourself up to hit the big ranks in, December 31st. Don't look at end of month. You know what I mean? Yes, look at end of month, help your people, but you know what I'm saying. One more ambassador, Jillian. You're going to double rank, yo. It's going to be amazing. What else? What else can I help you with?
So I sent you a message and you said you'd get back to me, but I figured this is a good time to throw it in there.
Yeah.
So I've done lives and I've gotten some interaction, but is there like a post that you've done that has really drawn people to like be an ambassador or to really start that conversation? Because what I'm finding is I get people in a conversation and then it's like a glossy look all of a sudden when I say, would you like to see a video, or would you like to get in a chat, or, be on the Zoom call?
I say this all the time because I'm going to have to see your screenshot of your conversation to kind of get a feel for the tone of what's happening with each person. But I will say that I try to work both before and after the post to set that person up to know that I care about them. So if that means that days before I post something, I know who are on my dream team list and I'm investing in them in the conversation, that I make the post, and then I ensure to do that afterwards. You pay for, or you are rewarded for, the influence that you've built before this day, right? So if you don't have any influence right now, you got to go build it. And so it isn't necessarily a magic message. I will say though, you got to ask. You got to ask people outright, and you're not going to say the wrong thing to the right person, and vice versa. You got to be bold and celebrate people's success. And I guarantee you, people will be watching. What's going on behind the scenes in their mind is like they're churning. And so if you catch them at the right time, because you're bold enough to ask over and over and over again, while also loving on them in between, it's going to happen. Is that helpful? All right, y'all. I love you. Go get them. Praying for each one of you. We got big months ahead. It's going to be amazing. And send me a message and let me know where you're at. I want to know how it ends up. Okay? Bye.